hello. Good morning.
Hello. Hi.
Oh, that's very
Hi.
curt.
I'm sorry. It's because I was clapping and seeing you. I didn't know if your headphones were back on, so I was like going, hello.
No, I don't
As
take my
opposed to-
headphones. I keep my headphones on. I pull the plug out of my phone so that it gets the audio from my phone gets
Excellent.
yeah.
Excellent.
I know. Fascinating. Fascinating
Fascinating.
insight into the technical machinations of recording a podcast. On the
Pulling
cheap.
back the curtain, as it were.
Exactly. You know what?
No,
Miller?
what?
I
What?
realised something the other day.
Tell me.
I think I realised it about a month ago when I was doing the dishes.
Okay, good time.
Yeah, and I guess you'd call it a physical kind of tic or habit.
Mm.
And I think I've probably been doing it for years and not noticed, which is weird for lots of reasons. But I lick my top lip. This is a podcast in which two friends talk about the pleasures, absurdities, and imperfections of being human. I'm Simon Ellis.
And I'm Lee Miller. Welcome to Midlifing. Oh.
And I don't know, it feels like I'm doing it because of something I'm anxious about, like as if I were, it's like a tell and I was playing poker against James Bond and that would be my tell as opposed to bleeding from my eye or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's a really weird experience for it to suddenly come to bump into my kind of awareness.
What do you think brought it to the fore of your awareosity? Not a word.
But I like it. Awareosity.
Awareosity.
I'm just get a T-shirt printed right now. I think just by sheer how common it was, how often I was doing it, that it became common enough for it to enter my consciousness, to become aware of it. And it was slightly disconcerting because I still do it. I'm doing it less because of that, but it's quite disconcerting because I went, oh my, I've been doing this a lot. And I notice it when I'm concentrating on something. If I'm like sitting down and I'm, I don't know, doing something like I'm drawing or something, I'll lick my top lip. And I think the other thing I noticed is I think it's also dryness. I was getting really dry. Fascinating, eh?
I mean, there's so much I want to pursue there. The first is, have you got yourself a nice lip balm?
Oh yes, I've still got some left over from when I visited Portugal that time. And
I remember you buying it.
Yeah,
you had very dry lips. They were really cracked and sore. You poor little sausage.
Oh, I know. So yes,
but that was good stuff that you got.
Lip balm, yep, excellent,
okay,
high
brilliant.
quality. Yep,
High
good on
quality,
the lip balm. Thanks. Tick or check.
Okay, so you're good there. And so have you been able to sort of listen in? Is it anxiety or is it focus?
So I think it's focus, and I think it's I think it's what happens is because the dishes often is when I'll be thinking. It's quite a common where I'm quite relaxed and I'm thinking, and I think it's close to that when I'm kind of honing in on something in my mind, and so because I don't think it's anxiety. Although I was curious about if you have any, that's the reason I'm curious. Any habits, any tics, any little things like that where you go,
Mine's breath related. So if I am anxious, I hold my breath. I don't think I'm alone in that.
It's
I
like
think
a
lots
classic.
of people would probably, yeah, exactly. And then I notice it because I realise that my heart is racing, and I think, why is my heart racing? And then I think, oh, it's because I've just not breathed. Oh, that seems silly. I should pay attention to that. So
what a strange thing we do. This thing that, as John Kabat-Zinn says, we're not breathing, we're being breathed, meaning if we were breathing, then, and it's something that we had to do consciously, we'd be dead very quickly, right? We just keep forgetting, oh God, I have to breathe. So it's happening to us, and yet there's something that happens, as you're describing, when we're stressed or something goes on where we effectively stop, where we forget. What a weird thing.
Yeah, it is odd. That's probably my tell. And
have you noticed it more as you've got older, or are you doing it more as you've got older?
No, I don't think I'm doing it more as I get older. But what I know is, when I'm in a stressful, let's say a stressful work, and in fact it's nearly always a stressful work environment. I mean,
you're a high profile, high powered work person now anyway, so that can't help.
It's one of those things where I was going to go, am I though? But the fact of the matter is, I am responsible for a significant number of large scale projects that do, to a certain degree, cause a level of concern that I need to turn my attention to, and they are also multifocal. So I'm not always doing the same thing. If I was just holding
also
the postgraduate
multi-year
research
as well, aren't they?
Yeah. That's the thing. There's some stuff that's got a cliff edge that is March 2025. There's some stuff that has a cliff edge of July 2029, and then there's the ongoing rolling process of the stuff that emerges that's like kind of annual or biannual. So there's also you're right. Anyway, I think where it becomes an issue for me. So if I'm, let's say for example, I'm working at home and I am doing something and I just kind of go, ooh, my heart is beating, I feel lightheaded, oh, I'm not breathing. I can stand up, I can walk away from the computer, I can just take a breath, I can take the dog outside, I can just take a moment to, smell the flowers, as it were. Not literally, because it's December. But when I think I notice it, when I'm sort of been unaware of it, is when I try to speak in a meeting type environment. Sometimes my voice doesn't feel like it's located where I need it to be in my body.
And is that when you notice it, or is that when you already have noticed it and then
No, because usually that's one of those moments where you're concentrating quite a lot and you're keeping plates spinning, you're trying to pay attention to stuff, and you're also trying to think ahead of something, and you're in that moment and you're not really paying attention to yourself, you're paying attention to the situation. And then I come to speak and I suddenly realize it's like, hang about, this feels like I'm going to cry. And it's not because I'm going to cry, it's because when you're going to cry, you get that very sort of, your throat becomes very present. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
You become very aware of your throat. And it's to the point that when I was little and I used to try to not cry.
In fact, we swallow to hold back tears.
Yeah, exactly. And that made me think that I had a sore throat when I was little, but I was just trying to hold in tears. It's not that I am holding in tears. It's that my voice travels into the same place where holding tears lives. And then I go, oh, I'm not breathing and I'm not using my chest to resonate, which is how I talk. I talk from here. I don't talk from here. And when I'm talking from here, that is an indication that I'm not breathing properly. Because some people I know talk from their throat, and that's absolutely fine. That's how they talk. But I talk. I'm a chest resonator. And
you're making me think about. I have no idea for me, but what you're making me think is that there are people in the world who are in that state. Almost constantly, and not even aware. That becomes the air they breathe, basically. That's what it's like to be alive. Boy, talk about recipe for heart attacks.
Oh, yeah. You said that to me a couple of weeks ago when I was working flat out on something, and you said, just be careful, which was very sweet of you. And I think what I knew at that time was, this is okay because I know that this is time bounded. This is going to stop soon. And so it wasn't about anxiety as in like this, because anxiety for me is that kind of diffuse, I don't know how to deal with this. This was just stress. There's like a lot of stuff being put on me, but I know that it's coming to an end because there's going to be an end point, and then that's fine.
Yeah, it's effectively state stress, isn't it, as opposed to trait stress. But the problem with it is that that's the thing is, if you don't have the skills or the ability to recognize it, then it very easily becomes the trait. It becomes the way in which you inhabit the world. And then, boy, it's tough on your system. Really
it really
tough.
is. It's really tough. And I feel like I've been very, very lucky that I live in a house with somebody whose stresses are so radically different to mine. Which means that when Bob is in a kind of a moment of finding things difficult, I'm able to just be there with her. I'm not in my stress. And similarly, when I'm struggling with something, then Bob is usually also not. I find that what happens is that Bob is able to just reflect my behaviours back to me and go, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, it's really it's. It reminded me that one of the places that Lil and I overlap in terms of that kind of kind of hidden stress where you don't even realize how stressful it is traveling. And I don't know at what point in my life, I have no idea at what point in my life where the kind of the preparation and the particularly getting to, let's say, getting to the airport, and the days leading up to it, I think I was, I think it's a pretty stressful situation for me. No, there's no kind of, there's nothing rational about it. Like if I think about it, I go, I don't find that stressful at all. But it was clearly behaviorally that it was stressing me. And Lil's the same. So we've, had some of our worst doozies in and around airports.
Yeah. Yeah. And, places that are absolutely designed to bring out the worst in people.
Well, yeah, just in terms of just bloody lights and smell.
That's exactly it. Yeah. Yeah. You
like
go
a casino, effectively.
It's so funny, isn't it? The pressures that we put on ourselves to arrive somewhere to relax or to work or to whatever. And it's just so unkind.
Yeah, it's really unkind. You're right. Hey, by the way, are you using unusual headphones?
I'm using new headphones. Are they bad?
Because I can hear myself. It's quite distracting.
Oh, that's very curious. I don't know why or how. Because you're in a pair of the brand new Sonys over the ears noise cancellers.
Oh, those MXR number 4.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called. They're blue.
Oh,
I got them at the airport last week or the week
when
before
you had time. When you had time to browse.
Oh, I had so much time. Yeah, we did. But because my Bose just suddenly decided, that's it, we're not going to charge ever again. And I looked and I did that thing. Where I was like, that's okay. I'm going to repair them. I'm going to buy a battery. And the battery's nearly £200.
A battery? You can actually replace the battery on Bose.
Well, No, you can't, but you can with a soldering kit and all of that sort of stuff. And I'm like, oh, I'll totally give that a try.
And they charge £200
just to buy the battery online.
Oh, it's fucking outrageous. It's just,
it really is, isn't it?
Apple's the worst at that shit.
Ugh. I would say Bose was pretty shit there, mate. Yeah,
but at least you could. I just watched that documentary Buy Now. I think it's called Buy Now on Netflix. Oh, it's so depressing. E-waste is just so depressing.
It's funny because that was last week. You said, did I have content? And I said, I've got a little. I was going to talk to you about capitalism.
Oh, let's save that for next week. I can't wait. I'm going to do some research.
Well, no, I don't think I want to worry about it that much. But I've just been doing a little bit of reading and a little bit of thinking. And
I would love us to talk about that.
I just got stuck into Marx's concept of the notion of de-skilling the workforce in mass production. And I just thought, oh, that is so depressing. And the idea of it's a deliberate attempt to rob the worker of agency because they're not good at everything. They're just good at this one tiny little thing. And maybe it was because I got a new coat. Shock horror, hey? Lee David Miller bought another coat.
You in the fashion industry. Ooh. Talk about bosom buddies.
See episode blah, 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 when I tell everybody about this particular company called Painter, Paynter, a company that I love. They make 4 jackets per year. They make multiples of those jackets, but I mean, they release
4 styles.
Jackets. Yeah, 4 styles per year, and they
Not
have
4 jackets because they would,
No.
you're paying 10K.
4 styles. Yeah. 4 styles of jackets, and they do a pre. I've told people about this before. They do a pre-release where they show you what the jacket's going to look like, and you effectively say, "Yes, I'd like to buy one. I'll pay for it now," and you can return it if it doesn't fit you. But they have a waiting list of people, and usually these are things that sell out in minutes. And they had they decided that they were going to make an overcoat, their first wool overcoat with Harris tweed.
Wow, that's right up your alley.
I mean, such a beautiful piece. And so I got it, and it
Do
arrived.
they make technical clothing?
No, they don't.
Oh, okay.
They don't. Although, of course, I would say a wool overcoat is, pretty tactical.
Yeah, it's true.
Pretty technical because it's wool. You forget how
Ancient.
Ancient wool is, and what a great fabric it is. Anyway, I got it, and I've barely had it off my back. It is the most exquisite thing I own, and I own some beautiful wool coats, but this it knocks them out of the park, to the point that I've given my cashmere one to Bob and said, go ahead and get the sleeves altered. It's yours forever. You can have it. A beautiful Italian-made Boglioli K-jacket, gorgeous, but Bob can have it because I'm never going to wear it now I've got this one.
Did you say Boglioli?
Boglioli is the name of the Italian maker that makes this particular jacket, the K-jacket. Gorgeous thing.
I'm not going to do any correcting of pronunciation there.
How would you like me to say it?
Well...
Go on.
Keep going. No, keep going.
No. Tell me how I should say Boglioli.
Okay, so it's spelled Bogli, right? O-L-I. 2 L's at the end or just 1 L?
I don't know. I've not looked at the label that long.
It's the GLI sound is very difficult in Italian. It's the only one that you don't... It's gli, so Boglioli.
Boglioli.
Exactly. Bravo.
Okay.
I mean, I'll call you a man. Bravo. That's it. Boglioli.
No,
so you're definitely not...
Boglioli.
Definitely not...
Okay.
Not a hard G
Cool.
sound.
So I'm going
Boglioli
to
sounds a little bit English, I have to say.
It does. But it's like it's one of those things, isn't it? That so there's a company.
Why would you know that? Why would you know that?
No, exactly.
I mean,
there's a Spanish company that has the same collection of letters. A Spanish fashion company that has the same collection of letters as a German electronics company. So it's Loewe.
Oh, Löwe is the German, right?
Löwe is the German.
Something like that.
Löwe. Yeah. How do you think the Spanish fashion house says it?
Not a clue. No.
It's Loewe.
Yeah.
So Loewe and Löwe are written in the same way, and you've got to ask: am I talking about the fashion or the electronics? Because that will impact how I say it. And I say Loewe or Löwe, depending. I don't say Loewe.
I guess when you say I'll take a size 32 for the electronics company,
Yeah.
there's something wrong.
Well, no, because it could be a 32-inch screen.
Yeah.
Also, I would never wear a 32.
No,
wait a
of course
minute, it
you
could be a waist.
No, I was thinking waist,
chest.
not chest.
Oh, I was thinking chest. I'm like, I'm like a 44, 46. Anyway, I have a lot of chest.
So wait, I'm now painter. We've gone.
Yeah, so painter.
And then painter was something. Hang on, is this actually a conversation about capitalism, or are you just steering us ready for next week? Because we're running long.
Well, no, don't worry. I'm going to stop us and we can come back to it next week. But I was struck when this coat arrived. I said out loud to myself when I was walking the dog. Well, maybe I said it to Jeff. I don't think I want to buy anything again. This is just perfect. And so I have decided 2025 is another... I've done it before in 2020. 2025 is another no-buy year. I will buy nothing.
Clothing.
No buy anything. No electronics. No, obviously I'll buy food.
And with
food and services.
With food, do you think about food that's necessary and food that's not, or is that's just there's no division there?
I don't consider any food to be unnecessary.
Oof, really?
Well, what do you mean by unnecessary food? Do you mean a bag of Percy pigs?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that there's a place for a bag of Percy pigs in your life.
Right. So for anyone who's not from the UK, Percy pigs are kind of, what are they?
Jelly-
Fruity, gelatinous lollies.
No, sort of chewy sweets rather than lollies, and you get them from Marks and
lollies
Spencer.
in New Zealand. Lollies would be all what confectionery? What do they call? Candy. They call it in the US.
Candy in the US, in the
Is
UK,
lollies.
Sweets, lollies in New Zealand.
We also use sweets as well, but yeah. Okay.
So they're a kind of lolly in that sense, and but for example, if you are trying to reduce your LDL cholesterol intake, as you know I am, at the end of a meal, you might want something just a little bit sweet, but you might not be in the mood for an apple
So
or
Percy
a banana.
pig rocks the world.
A 1 or 2 Percy pigs just sort of tells your brain, "Oh, I've had a dessert." So
My
that's where
marshmallow
for me, Percy pig
marshmallow test failing version of myself can't stop at 2, so I can't.
right.
But
They're too sweet for me. So like 1 or 2 is an absolute maximum, and that's like, oh, I've done my sweet thing now. I've had my dessert course. I'm happy.
Yeah, because I with that sort of food, I tend to think of it. It's also kind of shitty chocolate as well. Even good chocolate, I sort of think about, wow, the resources that get pumped into making that stuff, and they are definitely not necessary foods.
Yeah, I think if I was eating, that's true. But then I pretty much only eat Tony's Chocolonely now. If I was eating chocolate, because it's just, I think it's the one that tastes the nicest and does really good stuff, as much as you can in that context. Anyway, we are rampantly running over. Let's return.
I'll come back to capitalism anytime.
People are just going to be absolutely riveted. Oh, they're going to say about capitalism.
Oh, they go.
I can't wait to see how this turns out.
Marx.
Oh, we'll have a bit of Engels. Don't worry, he'll get represented.
Hey, what a pleasure! What a pleasure, Lee Miller. Always.
Oh, yeah, and Simon Kennedy Ellis. Should we tell everybody Happy Christmas?
Wait. So this must... Hang on, where are we at now? Yeah, I think we should.
I think we probably should tell everybody Happy Christmas.
Yeah. Just
everybody
in case.
will know that it's Christmas because there'll be jingle bells over the theme tune.
Exactly. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Talk soon. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, midlifers, you will probably have noticed a couple of things. One, I kept banging on about the fact that we were running long, and clearly this is a short episode. Well, the reason it's a short episode is there was about a 7 to 8 minute long story that I told Simon about going to the airport, and it was the single most boring thing I've ever listened to. So I deleted it, which means now we don't have enough material. The other thing that you might notice is that I erroneously suggested that there might be some jingle bells over the what's its chops. The you can also hear in the background there's somebody joining me. Well, I'll tell you that in a minute. This is a surprise for Simon. There might be some jingle bells over the theme tune because this will be a Christmas episode. It's clearly not. It's exactly a week before Christmas at the point at which this drops. So. Fool me once, shame on me, etc., etc. So the person who was just doing a very good impression of Jingle Bells in the background there was none other than Bob Whalley.
Hello.
Hi, Bob.
Hi.
So this is you're a long-time listener, first-time caller, but that's not true, is it?
No, because I never listen.
No, but you do know that.
Because I want this to be a safe space for you. Very private, just a conversation between the two of you.
So you don't listen.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is sort of a cue for next week. So Simon and I often, Simon has Simon and I often have a list of things that we're going to talk about next week.
Are you going to ask me for some lists, like shopping lists?
A little bit. So,
lists on lists. Lists of lists.
That's more of a score than it is to talk about. Is there? So next week we're thinking about talking about capitalism. Yeah, I can hear from that. What do you think should be on our list of things to talk about? You can't say lists on lists.
Why can't I say lists of lists?
Because that would be less a conversation, more a performance score.
Okay.
So if you were to say, okay, this is what you're going to have a talk about today, what would you think we should talk about?
I think you should read to each other.
What do you think we should read to each other?
I think you should like find like little bits of like snippets of reading and read to each other.
I mean, sometimes Simon does that. Sometimes he brings ideas and quotes because
That's lovely.
but he doesn't read them out loud.
Here, listen to this.
No, he doesn't do that.
Oh.
So are you thinking that one entire episode should just be us reading stories?
Yes.
Ooh, what kind of things? Would it be like, could I read the whole of Whistle and I'll Come to You, My Lad, by Emma? Because that would be really good at Christmas spooky time, wouldn't it?
That'd be amazing.
Oh, and you just got me that book of 100 Ghost Stories. It's really good. I just read one by E. Nesbitt. Yeah, it was a bit sad, actually.
Oh, sweetheart.
It's about a dead person, which is not probably not a surprise because it's a ghost story. Yep, that's how they work.
Yep.
Okay, so you think we should read to one another?
Yes.
Okay.
That's my first idea.
What's your second idea?
The second idea would be for you to eat like things in wrappers and then guess what they were.
So just unwrap food on microphone.
Yes.
And
Also,
are you doing ASMR? Do you want us to do a mukbang episode? Oh, we've just stopped licking at the licking at the microphone. That's disgusting. Listen though,
yes,
we just went out for dinner.
Yes.
I think I have proven to myself that I could never do mukbang because that buttermilk chicken sandwich was so big.
Yeah. But you were good. You left half of it.
I know, but my tummy is so full right now.
Oh, but you did a really good job, though.
I was a bit burpy on the metro on the way home.
That's okay, though. You've got to let it out.
I frightened that little kid, though. I didn't burp at him, by the way. So, okay.
Talked to Simon about fart walking.
No, I haven't talked to Simon
Okay,
about fart
there you
walking.
go. I that's something to talk about. Fart walking.
Okay. Do you want to explain what a fart? Okay.
That's your job.
It's to tell people or to go on one.
Ooh,
6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I have a feeling that our podcast will be so annoying.
It already is.
No, but I mean even more annoying than this is right now.
Okay.
Because we would never finish a sentence. I would find it endlessly diverting, but probably quite difficult to edit.
Yes.
Right then.
Okay then.
Night.
Night.
Did you say ninny?
No, I said no night.
Ninny.
Rude.
Rude.